having skills, free, decision delays, right? Cost estimates, bad luck, like that. Bad luck. Right? Short buffers, right? Virtual teams, cost management, engaging stakeholders, lack of project management skills, right? I think all of you are tired. You are giving us a party first. I'm sure all of you at some point have faced these challenges, right? In which case, all of you would have your hands up if you really did that exercise. Right? Now, this is from a collection of some 10 different studies of project failure worldwide. Right? I just took the common factors. Then what I did was I grouped them. Right? For example, bad luck incidents, organization culture, thinking quality is good enough, not great, supply issues is procurement, communication, then we look at technology, interoperability, getting these to work together, old technology, technical scalability. This is better. But then we want to go big numbers. So, last but not least, in fact, most importantly, so you'll find that out of 30 of those factors, 21 of them relate to just these four forms. Scope, time, cost, and people. Right? The stuff is smaller it's across several different categories. Right? And if you tell a bit of research, speaking to our customers, and based on whatever you as an audience said, all of those challenges apply to you. Right? In addition, you have others in terms of political stability. See some of them right now. Respect for intellectual property. Big problem in India. On the streets, there are DVDs and the latest movies. The latest graphics are covered. Right? So there is not enough respect for that, which means in our terms, what we are fighting, when we develop software, and we use software, if you don't want to, there's nothing wrong with it. Right? Means you have an issue there. India has an issue too. The US also has it. Just think it's in terms of degrees. Right? Once again, in the brand Bangladesh as the source for the software. I read in the paper today that they want to double exports the next year from 100 million. You only export to 50 different countries. You want to make that to 100, which means Bangladesh software needs to be seen as a brand. So these are some of the challenges. You look at the opportunity. This is the same problem in India too. If I want to develop a software product, people buy, I get my expenses plus a certain amount of profit. That amount divided by the number of people who are willing to buy, will tell me what the price is. And the machine tells me. Let the people who want to buy it but use legal software. All the price will be, and there will be fewer people to buy. Right? But today, mobile apps, you don't have to spend a lot in terms of packaging. You develop a mobile app, you put it up on the Apple Store or Amazon Store, you price it at $1 or $2, you can still get a lot of people to buy. Right? So that's a big opportunity for all the way. Once again, in terms of applications for money. So you're not thinking today about solutions, you're still talking about problem. Right? Let's move directly into solution. I will look at those three parts that we spoke about, fourth value part. And the fourth part is just people, right? And we'll take one practical example. First, we look at scope, which is the target, right? And I call this explicit exclusion, right? This is something we've had huge success with our clients. Look at the scope of a requirements document. If you look at an insurance policy, most of the policy is fine print, right? There will be 2-3 pages in such a small font that you won't be able to read at all, right? They call it the exclusions, right? So if you're going to say you paid all the premium, you didn't read that fine print, claim dismissed. Now what happens in software? In IT projects, most of the time, 95% of our requirements are it's about what is used. There is very little about what is not used for. And there starts a big problem. Right? As we go along, client starts saying, no, no, the source is, no, what source is called? No, 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 how many can be covered? And suddenly, stop clearing is considered the second biggest reason for project failure worldwide. Okay. Right? So one of the practical suggestions if you that whatever at the top of the requirements document, whatever you are assuming is out of scope, put it out there. Like the insurance companies may not put it 5.53, like the customer cannot read it. But put it out there explicitly. You think it is out of scope, right? Why not say that? Because you say that the customer may come running to you and say, no, 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 this is in scope. It is better beginning rather than towards the end. Right? So scope, explicit expression. So I recommend to my clients that 20 to 25% of the requirements document is explicit exclusion. If you think that brochure, the client says 4-column brochure, this kind of paper and all of that, every printing example advertising, assuming it's only going to be in one language. So suddenly the customer comes later and says 4 times the scope. So that was part one. Explicit exclusions that can have great success with our clients in terms of explicit scope. Any questions? It's difficult to do. It's always difficult to change the status quo. 2 years ago, when I was terribly overweight, I was overweight. I had to go to a gym. It was very difficult. I went the first day. Second day, I didn't want to go because all my legs and arms are paining. But I had to grit my teeth and go. And if you go to walk on the road, if I take this fat day running, people will laugh at me. If I think about them, I will never change, right? So for all of good, that is something you will have to start doing. You think it's a practical thing that you can use? It's not 30,000 feet by theory, okay? So if you think it is out of scope, put it out there, make it clear. And then you negotiate with the client. Now, if the client has come back to you and said these 3 things are in scope, right? They have agreed that the others are, right? Then they can't come back and say, so you're able to do not eliminate scoping, but you can reduce it a lot. And then you have added the second biggest reason for project failure won't work. You move the cost, right? Have you experienced this? The boss comes to the project manager and says, I need a cost estimate. This is from Dilbert. He says, I haven't even gathered the requirements. I don't know what to do. How can I give you an estimate? He says, don't worry. This is just an update. This is just some number. Just give it to me. This guy is experienced. He says, no, you will put it in the document. You will forget that you said update. And you'll fire me when I go over 20. You obviously have the experience, right? It doesn't stop there, right? What says, give me a number or I'll fire you right now. They will empty Lucy. What do you do? So then this guy decides, okay, let me postpone my debt. We fire it, right? Let me wait. So this is cost $10 million. No number. What says that's too high? So this guy says, if you want why you asking me? If you don't know it, you would say 10 million is too high, right? So he says so that you feel like you had input. It was feel so bad. So a lot of times this happens. You are asked to give a number without knowing much, right? In terms of cost management, this is not as very strange as in terms of a novel and in terms of explicit. But estimation is one of the biggest problems. Some of the cost estimate consists of even individual tasks, right? So simple thing. Look at data from previous calls. Similar problem, right? In IT industry, this is a big problem, cost estimate. Because if you take a computer industry, They know exactly how many masons, how much cement, how many various things they need. They can calculate total and come up with a very good estimate. In IT, it is not so clear, right? So look at data from past. Okay. Even if you don't have data of this specific kind of project, at least you have some guideline. Right? And there are techniques like cost analysis, right? Such a model was it, but that looks at the worst case scenario, best case scenario, non scenario. You have a mathematical formula that tells you what the IT estimate is. So the average. It's like the worst case scenario. The common problem with estimates is the boss always thinks in the Adam estimate. We always how much is it? No, no, I will not pay more than this. Like the idea is ultimately we come to something like that. Right? Unfortunately, it happens in IT too. If you have kind of lost data, if you have certain assumptions, mention it along there. We might not call it the basics of estimate. How do you arrive at this estimate? Right? If you just give some number, then it is boosting each other. I will cut it. Right? So if you say in 10 past projects, this particular task has taken so long. Since that prices, costs have gone up so much. So assuming those things, I have come up with this estimate. Now the boss knows that it is not something that you have just boosted. In past projects, it has cost so much, right? You are giving the rationale, you are giving the reasoning behind that number. So there's a much greater chance the boss will accept it. Even if something goes wrong, it's all out in paper. It's not something you got by magic, right? So, and the last is those of you who are in IT, search the web, talking the language of management. A lot of the times we are using very, very technical project management, technical IT terms. Senior management doesn't understand. So if I now started talking to you in Tamil, which is my mother tongue, will any of you understand a word? Many times as project managers, we are talking words that management doesn't understand. And then the problem starts, right? Such the web. Project managers talking the language of management. Right? Then we'll be able to see this particular word. What terms should I use it? Management will understand, right? And then it becomes much easier, right? So that was in terms of cost, right? Come up with specific reasons, come up with numbers in terms of cost rather than just some blind numbers. Give the basis of estimate. How did I arrive at this estimate? This is why this is going to be the estimate and that helps, right? On the subject of padding, we just spoke about padding, right? Take this typical example of how padding happens in an IT project. I'm looking at a small IT project, 5 modules, 10 people working on each module. There is a team lead for each module. There is a project manager. Okay. Now, when we go to a resource, we tell them the estimate you give at any cost you should finish. Otherwise, I'll find it. At any cost, you have to finish it in the time that you allocate. Otherwise, you lose your job. So, what will he do? He will take 1 day. He must be entirely safe, right? He doesn't want to lose his job. So, he takes 3 days. Now, taking across the module, there are 10 people working this module, right? So, instead of 10 days, it has now become 30 days. Right? This goes to the team lead. This is still 10 days. The project manager has told him, whatever estimate you give, you should finish. So he doesn't want to give the 30 days the team gave him. He can't say, right? So now he says 40 days for this module. Right? So across 5 modules, what will have been 50 days has become, I had it as I think 45, it has become 220 days, right? Right? Let's assume it as 45, I made a mistake there, right? Now it comes to the project manager. He has an estimate of 220 days, right? What does he tell management? You want to go, right? All of us do. And I'm not exaggerating these figures. I've seen it happen in many projects. So it goes to management. Management also doesn't believe the project manager completely. Right? They're wrong with the government 300 days. Is it some fantasy? I have a lot of experts on this. Is it a fantasy or does it happen? It very much happens. And you know the saddest part? You know the saddest part? We will not tell you the people. We will not tell you the people. And then we will tell you what, right? A person who finds very famous author, several books. Eliyahu Goldratt. He wrote a very famous book called Critical Change, which deals with this entire exact topic. You know what happens? We have something called the student syndrome. Also, experienced it, right? The professor gives us 3 weeks to finish the assignment. We know it take 3 days. When will we start doing it? 18th day. Right? Because it will take 3 days. So all these resources take 3 days to do a task. They're going to take only 1 day. They better start on the 3rd day. And if on that day they fall in, some system server is down, even though it is 3 times, it will not get done. Right? And when many of these fail, the project still doesn't get done in 300 days. Right? So what was the solution to Goldratt proposed? He says go to the resource and say, give me a realistic estimate. Even if that estimate is not right, it is fine. If you have a real problem, your daughter was sick, you didn't get the information on time, I'm not going to fire you. It has to be a logical reason. You're not giving them a free off, right? If there is a good enough reason, you will not fire you. Now it's more likely that it's the foundation of the that's not on the basis of right? The risk is not there. Ultimately, overall, if the team gets confidence, they could come down to 1.5 days. Right? So 1.5 into 10, 15 days, right? With padding, all of that, you can now come up with 150. Right? In the ideal situation, everybody gives the right estimate, you now come up with 15 days. You don't need to tell the client, go and tell the client 50 days. Then we are coming into inside. What we are going to do is we are going to tell the client 150. We are giving buffers at every stage, every module, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days. Reasonable buffer. This buffer is not in people's minds, right? It is there on paper. We promise the client 150 days. And there's a much greater chance we will deliver in 150 days than 300 days because the student syndrome is reduced. The other thing is something that works. In Mumbai, for example, plants, textile plants that used to take 4 years, get done in 16 months. Imagine the amount of cost that is saved. In fact, we go to a vendor, the vendor says he'll give it to you in 21 days. I'll say, if you give it to me in 14 days, I'll pay you a stuff. It is an incentive for early delivery, right? Because that's whatever I am paying you extra will only be 50% of what I'm saving actually. The vendor is getting more, he has an incentive, right? And it's something that really works, so get reasonable estimates, avoid the student syndrome, shorten project timelines. Now you're going to be able to be more competitive. Other IT companies are promising your client 300 days because they all have similar kind of estimation. You're promising 150 days and you still succeed, right? So another very practical thing. So what did we see so far? In terms of scope, we looked at explicit exclusion. In terms of cost, we said look at past historical data and give basis of estimates. Here we look at clinical change. It's a very, very famous book. If you're going to be in IT project management, I highly recommend you read the Critical Change by Goldratt, right? It's an amazing breakthrough book. No, I don't get any commission for selling that book. Okay. So the last one in terms of motivation, right? I'm actually going to take some project management techniques and tell you how to motivate. Because if people are not motivated, their performance will go down, right? They're going to leave the project, they're going to other companies, right? So what is why the bit which I call something called both the exam structure. WBS is a pictorial representation of how what is included in a project. What is the advantage? It gives people a big picture. Let me tell you a small story. There was a factory where they were breaking stones. Huge rock put on, right? They break it down into 1/10 the size. That's all the work done in the factory, and it was shipped to another side. There was one man who had 80% better productivity than everybody. They wanted to find out, right? We go to the people whose productivity is below average. What is it that you do day in, day out? Is that some kind of question? Are you blind? Can't you see I'm breaking rocks? We go to people who are average. What is it that you're doing here day in, day out? The answers are slightly different. I'm feeding my children. I'm saving for my son's college education. Third person says, I'm saving to build a house. They go to that man who had 80% more productivity. They look at him up and down. He's not the tallest fellow. He's not the strongest. He's not the youngest guy. What is the secret about it? What is it that you do day in, day out? I'm building muscle. He's not building muscle. But yes, the rocks from this side are being transported to a side where they're building muscle. So he feels himself part of that chain to build something very big, which is a muscle. And that motivates him much more. That is what the WBS does. Right? Don't say we are building this mobile app. You say we are going to save thousands of people with somehow. We are going to win Company of the Year award. We are going to win Product of the Year award. This is an innovative app. Be like the CEO. As a project manager, be like the CEO of your project, selling what this product is going to deliver. What features is it going to give, right? For example, a programmer in an IT company, I'm going to say, you're going to be part of a project that will save 1 million times. No? He's working on a project that helps develop some compound that can save millions of. Now, when they think of that bigger picture, they're going to be far more effective, right? Second, how can physical paths be a motivation to? Lots of times in projects. Okay, so 5 more minutes. So, in terms of critical path, right? Many times on our projects, we don't have everybody doing architecture and design and programming, right? Which is considered glamorous business activity. You're going to have some people doing testing, documentation, and they feel not so important, they feel marginalized because they feel they are not doing important work. All the glamour work is done by others. They are not doing important work. So their motivation levels go down. But they are very enthusiastic. They are very key people. They have a lot of meetings, right? I'll go and find out if what they are working on is on the critical part. If it is on the critical part, if they fail, the entire project can get delayed. So I will actually go to them and say, you know what? You're working on something very important. Success of the project depends on how well you do it. If you fail, the entire project will fail. So anytime you have a problem, what is the problem? Somebody is not giving you data, somebody is not cooperating, you have a problem getting a login. Okay. Together, let's make this project a success. He or she will walk out of the room with 1 feet forward. Because now they know they are an important contributor, right? Similarly, if somebody is not working on a critical part, we can say, are you willing to take this 2-day training and maybe work on a very important critical path activity? That way, I'm getting more people work on a critical path without any extra cost. And project gets done faster, right? And finally, risk on. Let's say it's one of those people working on documentation or something like that, which is not related to the critical. You can't lie to them saying you're working on the critical. What I will do is, some of the risks I've identified on the project, and go to them and say, hey, how would you like to be a risk owner or something? This is the risk. These are the early warning signs. You will be owner of this. If it becomes a big risk, you will report to us. Two birds with one stone. As a project manager, we don't have the time to look at all the risks. Somebody is willing to do it for you. Now, even if the entire team is saying, look, this person is going beyond his job. He is willing to actually help us in terms of this. And even the entire team. Let's congratulate these 5 people. They've gone beyond their regular job and they are helping the project. Every meeting, 5 minutes towards the end by rotation, one person every week. I'll ask them to talk about this. This gives them visibility, importance, right? And they're now going to do their job better. So I gave you 4 important things, right? We looked at scope, time, cost. We looked at practical ideas in modeling. But is that enough? Is that enough? I remember a famous story. Not a story, something that happened to me. I'm sitting at home, it's raining outside, it's nice and cool. I'm on my cushy green sofa, that's my favorite. I'm watching a match where India is playing soccer. I'm watching the final of the World Cup. Last ball, Dhoni hits a helicopter shot. India wins. I'm feeling exhilarated. I'm feeling I can't forget. On this, I pick it up. It's my I said, what happened, sir? What did my father? Suresh, just happened on that. He said, the operation is successful. That is what I can't understand. Doctors are saying operation success is patient. That will not will happen if you deliver only scope, time, and cost. Everything that was there in paper you did, but the client did not get the benefit of that thing. Right? So ultimately, that is important. We spoke about explicit exclusions and all of that, but you have to spend the time at the beginning and say, what is it that the customer wants? What is the benefit? What should the product deliver? Forget the scope. If the client is wrong, we have to be able to tell them, this will not help your product. You have to have the courage to do that. And then you'll be able to succeed better. Who's this man? Ask me for two. Who's this man? Ask question today. He's a very, very famous author of a very famous book. What famous? His name starts with Stephen. Stephen Covey. Who said that? I can't write in that. Yeah, you can pass it on to him. Stephen Covey wrote a very famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Right? And he said, very famously, he said, begin with the end in mind. He said, begin with the end in mind. Here the end means the goal. What is the goal of our IT project? What is the benefit the customer wants? Forget Java, forget .NET, forget what tools you're going to use, forget all of that. They're all important. But more important is the benefit that the client needs from the project, right? If I buy a Garmin phone from the airport yesterday for contact, right? And they do a lot of stuff, but my phone doesn't work. How does it help? I have an Indian Airtel connection. I didn't take an Airtel. I bought a Garmin phone because it's supposed to be better. If I don't get it, I'll go and tell 100 friends don't do that. Worse, I'll reach to 6,000 followers. Look at the damage they can happen, right? So begin with the end in mind. Look at what the benefits the customer needs. Look at what has to be the solution. And work towards applying that, because it is not just about scope, time, and cost. To summarize, we said only 2/3, 1/3 of projects worldwide succeed, right? We looked at the top causes of failure from a variety of different projects. We looked at 4 key challenges: scope, time, cost, motivation. So we said explicit exclusions. We looked at better estimation. We looked at the critical phase, right? And then in terms of motivation, we looked at the WBS critical path response. And we said that was not important, right? So you can't have the operation succeed but the patient die. Right? So that brings me to the end of my little session. I hope it was practically useful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Karthik, for your information and practical speech. It was actually very helpful for all of us to understand. I guess the particular challenges in social media are almost facing for many of the cases. I'm sure that particular manager is a lot of things from here. I will request Mr. Karthik and share some experiences. Or if you sit there, a very experienced guy, and I'm sure he has a lot more than thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here and to share my experience. I really enjoyed the session. I think it's contributed that to my project management time and how I struggle with some of the experiences that it's an agony actually. We always say that project management is more of common sense, but unfortunately, common sense is very important. And applying the methodology and sharing the importance with stakeholders, I think these are more challenging. Now, I actually restrained myself during the context of management. Trying to strength. Um, what I have seen, I work in end users, like currently I work with the financial and I think in software house there is more awareness and I will not those that using those IP jobs. Um, these are very common. But when I go back to the corporate environment, there's a sheer absence of understanding of project management, concept. We hardly talk about and there's a lack of most nowadays, need for a project. So you talk about project or initiation of a problem, and it's kind of discipline, kind of environment that we talk about is good project management practice. So we hardly get time to talk about this. We hardly get time to talk about continuity management. We hardly get talk about the issue of risk of, and it's not that PO decides who will be a never mind the experience that so and when you start starting a project, you can application can work on the model. Expecting that it will meet a job. And I don't know, for example, what is going to now because there is no problem. One of the areas in corporate nowadays is that we don't necessarily have the business as in problem. It's not yet. So when I try to do a project, obviously when we are doing or projecting, we want to achieve the business to be and the challenge is really to because of people get involved, participate, and contribute. In most cases, we can define the business case. And I'm not aware that, why we actually the business case, and we also look at it. Very often we look at the presentation and of the project. Um, without the project the right Now, it takes not only there's a cost element, there's a people element, and of course there's a time element in terms of project plan. But project plan is not necessarily a project element. There is a big, when we actually go back to, let's say, project code booklet, which is talk about project steering. Some of the terminology, some of the documents, if you like, some of the terminology that we have not identified earlier. When this program that talks about those, then it has to negotiate with some of these key stakeholders, could be a senior user, or could be someone who is actually helping him in terms of delivering this project. In open environment, is a guidelines here and there. And without this blessing, in terms of convincing the project goal, what is happening, how the project is being launched, and who is doing what, because there is always this gap. And that, I think, it's a big trauma for the project manager. Like, I want my report by Friday. This is something that traumatizes the software industry when we talk about quality in the deliverables. Because in most cases, we understand that there is a need to achieve something within time and ensure quality. We hardly give the resources to achieve that. So we tend to compromise on those areas. And I think this is one of the areas project management is very challenging. And in most cases, the project managers, they end up getting all the blame. Even though the project is delivered, let's say on time, and then the expectation, factor, we got this solution and it's not addressing that requirement that I need. So what we fail to do in the beginning is also making sure that this application, this implementation is going to deliver those business areas. We actually did not identify or specify those in our document. When it comes to project closing, we cannot map in terms of what we are just going to deliver and what we promise. And the other problem is we hardly have a lessons learned report. One of the good principles of project management is that we look at lessons learned report, which is something very common in the software industry because I know the time that is required in terms of unit cost for development in the Java or a project manager. I can estimate my project, quantify it scientifically because I have those estimates in a software house. But in a corporate environment, it is very difficult. And I think project managers here, they really struggle. And I think if I may take this opportunity, PMI industry here, PMI Bangladesh, second is, I think, initiative. Second is say that I think one way to move forward is to make more awareness and take a challenge to create more project managers. Not only, I think the key challenges is not only developing those project managers, but also targeting corporate in terms of the awareness, targeting corporate in terms of making sure that it's just implementation of the project is not the key objective because that perhaps can be the business case of this project. If I want to do the benefit sector, then I'll just give you a quick example. Very recently, I negotiated with it's a deal with arrangement with the rural electricity group, the bank that I work with. We negotiated a deal, we find the employer and we define the operational process and ask all managers to start this process. But we hardly have noticed that the managers are basically taking advantage of this the new agreement that the bank has with this REB, because this is going to benefit their cash flow, which contributes to the fair yield. And I think that's the project was, for me, the project was to ensure for the bank with the utility there, and the benefit would be what the project, the branch managers, they take extra effort in terms of making sure that they attract customers. They actually go into corporate housing, where we can take your deal, go into the industry. So I think this is where there needs to be an extra work tonight. There's delivering projects, project managers delivering projects. At the end of the day, when using lessons learning tools, project manager gets demoralized because he expects a good promotion out of this project. And he delivers, or he gets more. I think that's his expectation. Because within the corporate environment, his success has not been seen as a corporate. But the corporate hasn't actually defined that by the implementation of this project, what the corporate is going to achieve. I think that there's a big gap there. And perhaps that is one area in terms of projects and project managers are seeing someone or some people who are close to IT projects, so they understand the IT language to some extent. That they get some blame or some they left out in that in sharing these campaigns. And I think that's unfair to them. But as a whole, I think in the that we want to do, that's I think that there is a challenge in terms of getting more awareness there. Patrick mentioned something else about work breakdown structure. It's excellent because that allows identifying the breakdown of all the tasks and how we can achieve it. Because I can put the cost element into those individual tasks and ensure that individuals can own those, how they fit in those things. The discipline that I have worked with in terms of project management and also have PBS, product breakdown, which also allows breaking down how the whole project. So I think I got benefited in terms of looking at PBS and the WBS was something that I had to do. And I think what I'm getting by telling and sharing with you is that it's not easy delivering a project. Very hard, extremely hard, no matter how efficient you are. Because at the end of the day, we deal with people, and those people need to be forced into the idea of project management. And unless I fail to do that, because project manager has to negotiate and renegotiate all the time. And one thing that I learned from my to go back to the project board, which is the combination of project manager, senior leader, senior supplier, and the stakeholder, is to go back to and relook the business case. Why we are doing this project? Is it worthwhile to continue with this project? And when they do so, they also go back and talk about who's doing what, why they're doing it, and try to make a sense of why it is viable to move ahead with this project or just do it. Thank you very much. If you have a question to your candidates, although we have now 5 minutes dedicated to no, given that we have experience with this. I have a specific question for that, and we asked these those what was the second question? How did you become so comfortable with it?
Thank you very much. Before I answer your question, I just want to have an idea about the audience. Can you raise your hand? How many of you are from the IT company? Please raise your hand. Here we are. Okay. And how many of you are from the corporate world? Customers. Okay, so I can see that the questions that our answers or our deliverables should be towards the IT companies because most of you are here. I just wanted to add some things that add to Mr. Kafi is that project management, I think, is summarized. Is more of a change management. Because if you cannot manage the change that's going to happen to that particular project or that particular organization, mostly it's a people issue. At the end of the time, it's people. Whatever software, whatever machine, whatever you deliver, it's people. If you can manage them, if you can bind their, bind them into this project so they will understand the value of it, then I think it will work. I mean, let me share one experience, more experience while I was VJEX Finance Bank. So I tell this because that was one of the projects which actually succeeded in 3 months throughout the organization. Although it wasn't a technical project. If you want, I can speak in Bangla. Please speak out. Bangla? So, projectটা ছিল হচ্ছে গিয়ে যে আমি যখন প্রথম জয়েন করি, actually joined after me. প্রথম যখন জয়েন করি তখন সেখানে বড় চ্যালেঞ্জটা আমি দেখলাম I was the IT head. সেখানে IT population ছিল 4 জন, including myself. I think department was had a very big team, 4 জন. They had 80 branches at the bank running throughout Bangladesh. 4 people running IT. So I was really amazed and how is that possible? আমি যেটা বললাম প্রথমে একটা সার্ভে করলাম যে what is the number of people or IT savviness এই organization IT savviness কত people আছে? What was it? It's about 2%. 2% people and actually know IT. So how am I going to implement any project whatsoever into this organization? So what I did, I mean, okay, let's develop a program to make them IT literate first. If I don't succeed in that, none of the other projects will be successful. So I actually devise a program Word, Excel, PowerPoint, email, internet using a little bit of hardware knowledge, a package training session program. I actually said that I'm going to give this training to throughout the bank. I actually had to go to all the branches throughout Bangladesh and I talked to people, asking them like this. I'm going to show you some of the examples, the questions that I asked. Why didn't you learn computers? Actually, my age, this day and age, I have computer. They said, can you do them? So, I'm fine, documented. And I said, why do you think the new guy that joined person, whatever, is sitting next to you, very young, she's shaking to because why is that? India goes why is it more? But it's all career, right? Then he came in, okay, then I asked him, what do they do? Computer যে কম্পিউটার গেম খেলবে। প্লে গেম কম্পিউটার কি আড্ডা দিচ্ছে, আপনি জানেন না কার সাথে আড্ডা দিচ্ছে, কি করছে, ইউ ডোন্ট নো, রাইট? আর বাসার কাছে কম্পিউটার গেম খেলি, ইউ নো হোয়াট ইজ প্লে, রাইট? হুইচ ইজ বেটার? Some বলে যে না আসলে কম্পিউটার তো দাম আছে, এটা expensive. Now I can help you. I know that. আমি এখন হেল্প করতে পারি। So when I devised this program, I actually went into the board and told them that look, I'm going to give training to 400 people. In training, যারা ইয়ে করেছেন, once I train them up, তাদেরকে আমি বাসায় একটা কম্পিউটার দিতে চাই। I want to give them PC to each of their home from the bank. But how? Well, because see, once they learn computer and use it in here, see, bank is not a training institute, so they cannot actually learn here. So আমি যদি বাসায় এটা দিয়ে দিই, তারা ultimately কি হবে? Ultimately, they will become the user of the bank. So what are you getting? আমার actually my proposition ছিল যে এটা ব্যাংকের যে সবচেয়ে lowest rate interest rate যেটা আছে, interest rate that they get money off, মানে they call it cost of fund. ওই ফান্ডে you give the loan. But when the board understood, they actually gave the loan below cost of fund. You know, they thought this is an investment. I'm investing on these people. So that's how actually that works. And then, because I talked to each of these branch managers and people, there were people so senior. I mean, they were like my uncle. Actually, বসে আছে তারা আমি কি খাবো, আমি যখন তাকে এই কথাগুলো বললাম এবং তারা যখন ক্লাসে আসে শেখা শুরু করলো, when they learn, after within a month I started getting phone call পাচ্ছি। ভাইয়া আচ্ছা আমাদের বাসায় যে কম্পিউটার দিবেন কোন সিডি ড্রাইভ না ডিভিডি ড্রাইভ, then I could understood that they are learning. And not only that, their kids are saying, their kids are very excited. Obviously, get the computer. And what is it going to have? LCD screen, color screen, what? It's not a question I have to. Ultimately, I understand that what happened at the end of the day, I saw these people, even mostly the senior people, they actually gave those computers to their kids and they bought laptops. I've got numerous names from these senior guys saying that, ভাই আপনি যে কাজটা করেছেন আমার সাথে আমার ছেলেমেয়েদের যে কমিউনিকেশন গ্যাপ ছিল সেটা এখন অনেক কমে গেছে, বিকজ উই টক ইন সেম ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ। আগে ওরা কি কম্পিউটারে কি বলতে কিছু বুঝতাম না, এখন আমিও যেটা বলি ও সেটা বলে, সে আমাকে বলে ওদের শিখিয়েছে। Project success story, how এটা বললাম যে চেঞ্জ ম্যানেজমেন্ট, I didn't do the change management first. How do you hold on? Okay, so now coming back to this question, this how it formed actually. So when I joined Bragg Bank had a vision. You know, Bragg Bank has the largest IT division. People in IT division itself. Just imagine my change. I joined the bank, now I joined the bank with ওইখানে যখন হলো তখন আমি প্রথমে বলা হলো যে এটা এই আই থিঙ্ক ইজ বিকামিং বিগ কনসেপ্ট, বড় একটা কনসেপ্ট রয়েছে। এত মানে একটা ব্যাংকেও ইজ ইট ফিজিবল টু so many IT people তাহলে এটা IT কোম্পানি না ব্যাংক, রাইট? So ultimately that comes in. So they thought let's make it, since we have so many skilled people inside the bank, why only one bank will benefit from it? Why not the industry? So company at some point of time we will slowly separate it out and become a separate IT company. So IT company হলে কি হবে, and then we apply for a company here, আমরা apply করলাম বাংলাদেশ ব্যাংকে that we want to make a separate company, which can actually serve the industry. We had 40 odd products for brand bank, so we will actually customize them for other banks also, so they will benefit. It's a but very interestingly, it wasn't so easy. You know why? Because Brackman said, I will give you this permission. I mean, you go, but my cost has to come down. I will not give you the same cost. That was the biggest challenge that I have faced. See, my parents will not pay me. Let's say 100 taka. They used to pay me 100 taka previously. এখন তারা বলছে 95 টাকা দিবে 5 টাকা আমাকে বাইরে থেকে আনতে হবে so it was very difficult so but still again we struggle we আমরা যেটা করলাম আমরা যেহেতু প্রোডাক্ট আমাদের ছিল সেগুলোকে স্ট্যান্ডার্ডাইজ করলাম অনেক ইভেন্ট হয়ে গেল স্ট্যান্ডার্ডাইজেশন people আরেকটা যে প্রবলেমটা হয় যে জিনিসটা you will know ex GPIT যে technical impact ওইখানে যাওয়ার চ্যালেঞ্জ when I'm a customer, he also knows. When I'm a customer, I want everything. So I earn everything in my terms. Whereas when I'm on the other side of the table, I'm going to the IT company, I'm going to the Blackbank is my customer. তখন তারা সব কিছু চায় আমার থেকে কিন্তু কম কস্টে just like we said less cost less time less everything you know that becomes a big challenge now the same people who had actually really were working for Blackbank they say boss our colleague he was my colleague now he is treating me like this you know যখন সুবিধা হয় তখন আরে we are all same আর যখন আপনার অসুবিধা হয় আরে ভাই you are a developer I mean you are a vendor I don't want to talk to you like this. So those are the challenges that we face. But with all these, change management within the organization, আমাদের IT company organization change management will খুব বেশি focus করতে হবে. People mindset. We are no longer think of Blackbank not as your parent, not as your ex-bank, or you are also working for the bank as a customer. When you talk to Blackbank, talk to as you talk to any other person. And keep them like don't keep them like he was your colleague before. Keep them like he was your customer. Are you the customer asking you say, sir, yes, what can I do for you? And so do that. But banking is just because he was your colleague, you don't do it, that's not right. You should do the same thing here. Then they will know. Transformation the maximum সময় আমরা কিন্তু মিস করি এটা we have to work a lot we have to do these I would say I have to give more than 50 hours of just management training project management training leadership training all these training actually we had a very good board who actually when we took a training budget they said just increase it. Just make it double. So we had that but that also actually didn't help much in that sense because anyway if I have more people training we'll deliver the project. So that's the they want the project they don't want to listen to all this where people are in. So it is how management ultimately mashallah within 2 years, I think the first time starting IT companies within 2 years of Java is very difficult. And we just celebrated our second anniversary just before with quite handsome project.
Yeah, especially now because it's good for my talk. Actually looking for someone to answer some of my queries, like how is research becoming giant things. It's really current progression that look at how the academic activities actually affect the industry. Right? So So I request Mr. Dr. India to handle mayor sir. How the education helping IT industry to build a critical institution. Are you offering any training, any kind of communication? How the can grow? And if you try to build industry and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mohammad Abdul Hanania. I am working in Dhaka University as a professor in the Department of Management and Government Systems. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the organizers, the keynote speaker, Mr. Kapil, very valuable deliberation, and the panelists who even enrich my brain. Whenever I go, it is one of my objectives to learn something. I am empty, so I want to learn something. So indeed, this is a very honor for me to be here and to share some of my ideas about the IT projects that in Bangladesh are challenging. Before answering this question, let me give you some of the statistics about the status of IT projects here in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is earning from the IT job around $71 million, which increased from $45 million from 2010 to 2013. Around 500 organizations have developing the IT products, out of which around 180 they are outsourcing this type of IT products. You already heard about the failure and success results of statistics. Statistics might differ from study to study. I do have some worldwide statistics regarding only IT projects, not all other projects. Around a summary of 20 research papers around the world, the IT failure project is almost 1/3. It's almost close to this interpretive statement. 25% of the IT projects, they are basket case. Basket case means the IT, the project is conceptualized and then cancelled. And the rest, around 63% of the projects are failure. Out of this, regarding 25%, because they could have some wrong functionalities, 40 to 45%, they are wrong comes, as well as they could not hit the deadline. Another very important statistic is that when we consider this IT is very important, the researchers are now trying to make a link up between the GDP growth rate of the country as well as IT investment. In the world as a whole, investment in IT sector is almost 6.4% of the total country's GDP. And another alarming situation is that the failure cost of IT is 0.09% of the GDP. If it is true, as per some statistics, Australia, they are yearly suffering from around $82 billion for IT failure. UK is suffering from $200 billion for IT failure. USA is suffering from $1,225 billion for IT failure. Bangladesh is suffering from $160 million for IT failure, which is about more than 4 million. So this is the statistics about the IT status here in Bangladesh. I did have a small study here in Bangladesh. Out of all the IT-based companies, the best successful 11 companies, they are even, their performance even 34% better than what they are expected of. And below 11 companies, their performance is 65% below what was expected of. Why is the problem? What are the problems? As far as academia, as a researcher, I found a couple of very important problems. I will not talk about, so many buzzwords. Number one, the government of the country should come forward to develop the platform. Suppose here you are here just to enrich or share some knowledge. Government yesterday declared, here that we are, in course of time, we will be proceeding the income from IT sector and that of the government sectors. I hope so. But what is the platform over here? If you want to go, suppose outside the country, to have some training, to register for a conference, you can take your conference and take it. So how can this possible? Government must develop this type of platform where the academia, the researcher, the IT project manager, the programmer, the analyst can come forward with the tendencies so that we can understand what are the requirements of individuals. The most learning situation, and already I will say, what are the challenges I find for the IT sector, the learning or the most challenging sector is IT product is not like the tangible products. Most of the IT products, what we call digital goods, what are the characteristics of IT projects that is distinguished from other projects? Number one is why these are the invisible products. Goods can be transported even through computer. It is not like the apparent garment of building, so you have to see it. No. So you must know the difference between the normal product deliverable and the IT product deliverable. Another very important thing, huge and complex interdependency of the IT developers, project and deliverables. These interdependencies include over here in other products. In that case, when you go for this development of this type of functionality, either a new functionality or maybe a conversion of previous legacy to a new one, the problem with that, our companies is they don't have, as far as my study is concerned, they don't have clear-cut understanding of the multiple vendors' expectations. For example, the concept of head of, I think you heard the concept, but the head of one of the latest technologies. If you would like to utilize this type of head of, and satisfy the customer. If I am a customer of running gas, or maybe for example the credit bank or any bank, if I am using some of the suppose their credit card or debit card, I don't want only my particular balance to be deducted and the payment is getting the money. Rather, I also want to know what is my credit worthiness, how a transaction is beating my credit worthiness. Not only here in Bangladesh, maybe around the world as well. Now, because these types of functionality are not developed by our IT specialists who are in favor of this project, that's why maybe our IT projects and focus on lending over the others. In Bangladesh, you go to one of them, Canada Bank, you will find Bangladesh was earning, or sorry, exporting around 36% of the total services. 36% of total services were contributed by IT in the year 2010. This 2010 and 11, 35 and 6. This decreased to 24%, and in the year 2013 it is 25%. One is the problem. On the other hand, India, if you consider, in the year 2010, they had 63%, now they have 65%. It's very constant. Our one is up and down, going down and down. In that case, people, one of the very important things, our honorable Yogi speaker will say, the operation is successful, caption is there. Okay? So how we call operation successful? Operation is a failure. It's a I don't know what. Only I know what that's for you say operation is something like when we think about one consider project, the project conception around 30% can be boom or bloom. So in that case, we must see what one has at the end of the environment. For that, I don't know our IT company there using any software. I can differently go or buy. It is not very costly, around $2,500. What we call IT. Very, very important software. Second one, when you can develop or buy with all information you can see over maybe 20 days, 30 days, 3 months, 1 year, what will happen. I think it is software, so you can, whatever you think, you can replicate that one. So I know time is over and I'm getting a sleep, so over there. I just complete here, just answering to inquiry, what is the academic field? Yes, this is business account in a university, as well as any other public or private university. They have IT, what I say, project management courses. Minimum one project management courses in BBA and MBA. And Dhaka University, some departments also offering some control courses, and within the operations of MA department where I focused on, they define the project management courses offered, giving more focus on IT. Maybe within the next 2 years, we will have the objective of changing the curriculum and designing a course called IT project management. So yes, the academia and the professionals can come forward, join together so that our IT sector project will be very successful. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir, for your for confirming that yes, universities like Dhaka, University can come to make sure that we get a plenty of particular level education. So when you get the Mr. It is your honor to share some of the experiences. Actually, I'm invited here. I'm not. I'm in this industry. I'm facing this project management challenges day in, day out. So I want to share some of my experience. I work here already secondly counts that we are in IT industry. I don't think that is a number. And we are also counted that we are coming from corporate. That is not also. But I find that there are technical people who are managing projects. I find ex-chairman of PTC. I find today director of high-tech power authority. I find someone from India having came here and just registered their company here. Today. I not estimating for center. But question is, in that case, actually, why this house is full? What do we know because regarding the project challenges with project management? This is the big question for me actually, because somehow they have an interest. They want to know that they always hear that project management is a big challenge. And what are the challenges? Because maybe most of them are somehow associated with either some project or any other project. So I see that from my perspective, I find challenges in different segments. Number one is challenges in government projects, government owned projects. Number two is challenges in a private corporate or a private practice. And number three is challenges in the outsourcing. Because, 120 companies, equal basis members, they are exporting to 23 countries. So obviously we are having some. And also, I am just delivering something in Shanxi, where the population is 65% of the population is under age 25. And whether we will be taking this demographic dividend or not, this is a big question for us, for all of us, not for the government or the opposition party or the parliament. This is for all of us, that this is a unique situation where we are living in a country where 65% of the population is under 25, and most, not most, all of them having a device which have mobile device which is almost a computer and better than computer we have seen nowadays. Is there anybody who is not having mobile phone in this country? Please let me know that. I will think that it will be. কাজে আমার প্রশ্নটা হচ্ছে যে দেশে এই ধরনের সুযোগ কিন্তু খুব কম দেশে আসে, খুব কম সময় আসে। 70-এর দশকে দুটি দেশের সামনে এই ধরনের ডেমোগ্রাফিক ডিভিডেন্ড নামার সুযোগ এসেছে, সাউথ কোরিয়া and Nigeria. South Korea only came 9 years ago. আজকে আমাদের প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে যে এই যে তরুণরা যারা আছে তারা সবাই একটা করে কোম্পানি করবে, আমার মনে হয় সেটাই করা তো সেটা হচ্ছে। এদিকে নিচে গেলে দেখবেন 450 মোবাইল অ্যাপ অলরেডি তৈরি হয়েছে এবং যারা এসছে আমেরিকা থেকে, এরিক কেনেডি ও আমাদের সাথে একটা আমরা কোরিয়া হয়েছিল, তো ও বলতেছে যে নো আই নেভার থট দ্যাট দিস টাইপ অফ ভেরি ইন্টারেস্টিং অ্যাপস আর দেয়ার। I never thought of this type of apps. আমি দেখো এটা আমাদের দেশের জন্য তৈরি, কারণ আমাদের দেশের নানা রকম সমস্যা আছে, প্রতিটা সমস্যা, কারণ we are operating in the greatest traffic jam in the world. So how will we get rid of this traffic jam? So there are at least 20 apps which are telling that we can do this with this app. Maybe none of this stuff. Here comes this correct now. আমার অভিজ্ঞতা আছে চট্টগ্রাম বন্দর অটোমেশন হয়েছে। Actually, when we talk about project management, আমার কাছে মনে হয় আমার চোখের সামনে আসে যেমন টেকনিক্যাল পারসন উনি গিয়ে প্রথমে ক্লায়েন্টকে বলবে দেখেন ওর সাথে আমার ডিফারেন্সটা আমি একটু জাভা করে বলবো, ওরা তো থাকবে এবং এটার একটা সিকিউরিটি লেয়ার সিকিউরিটি থাকবে এবং it will be totally platform agnostic and all these are lacking to the client. সে জানতে চায় যে এটা কি হবে। আমি যদি এখন তাকে গিয়ে বলি যে দেখেন আপনি কম্পিউটারের গুলোতে আছেন কোর্টে, এগুলো খুঁজতে আপনার একজন জালি ক্লাব এটা নিয়ে যায়, চোখে দেখে,
এটা ঠিক দেয়, ওটা দিয়ে তার বলে যে ওইখানে ওটা পাও। এটার জন্য কোনো দিন কয়েক ঘন্টা সময় লাগে, কোনো সময় 2-1 দিন সময় লাগে। সেই জিনিসটা আপনি শুধু নাম্বারটা জানলে মোবাইল ফোনে টিপ দিলেন, ওখানে দিলে তোমার কন্টেনারটা 5 নম্বর ইয়ার্ডের 3 নম্বর রোড 2 নম্বর কলামে আছে, আপনি গিয়েও তুলে দেন। এই যে এখন এদেরকে আপনি জাভা তৈরি করলে জাভা দিলে তো জাভা বললে অনেক সময় তারা ইন্ডোনেশিয়ার দ্বীপ মনে করে, ওখানে দিয়ে দিতে। আমি উইন্ডোজে বললে আমার ঘরে অনেক জানালা আছে, এই জানালা আমার লাগবে না। আবার বলছি না, আপনাকে তো এটা পর্যন্ত আপলোড করতে হবে, কাজে পরের অভিযোগ তো আমার আছে, যুদ্ধ তো আমার আছে। কাজে whether we are doing these things in ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কি বলা হয়, সেক্ষেত্রে আমি খুব সংক্ষেপে বলবো। সরকারি সমস্যা হচ্ছে একটা আমাদের দিকে এখানে অনেকে আছেন যারা সরকারি প্রতিষ্ঠানে আছেন, আর so in the government organogram, আমাদের একটা administrative structure, competence আর IT লোকজন কি হয়, আমাদের এটা সত্যিকার এই অবলম্বন তৈরি করা হয়েছিল যে একজন সিস্টেম অ্যানালিস্ট হবেন, থাকবেন, কয়েকজন প্রোগ্রামার থাকবেন, আর কয়েকজন টেকনিক্যাল বা টেকনিশিয়ান যেটা তাহলে যখন আমি বলছি যে আপনার পরিবেশন সিস্টেম তার দায়িত্ব হচ্ছে যে তার কোর্টের সমস্ত সিস্টেমটা তৈরি অ্যানালিসিস করে রিকোয়ারমেন্ট ব্যবহার করে তার আন্ডারে 3 জন যে প্রোগ্রামার আছে তাকে দিয়ে তৈরি করে ডাটা এন্ট্রিটা রাখতে তাদেরকে এন্ট্রি করে পরিষ্কার। সিচুয়েশন এখন চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে, কোর্টে এখন আগে ছিল ৭৫,০০০ কর্মীরা, এখন হচ্ছে ১৬ লক্ষ কর্মী। এটা যদি এখন ম্যানেজ করতে হয় তাহলে বড় সলিউশন, তাহলে তারা কি টেন্ডার করবে, টেন্ডার করে একটা কোম্পানিকে বলবেন, তখন সিস্টেমে ভাববে আমার আমি এটা কেন বলবো, কারণ আমার তো দায়িত্বই হচ্ছে সিস্টেম অ্যানালিসিস করে রিকোয়ারমেন্ট তৈরি করে আমার প্রোগ্রামার হচ্ছে সেটা আমি ডেটা রিপোর্ট তৈরি করব। তাহলে কেন আরেকটু কোম্পানি আসছে এবং তারা কাজ করতে চাইছে আমার চাকরি বলে থাকে। ইফ উই ক্যান চেঞ্জ যে তার পজিশনটা হবে ইমপ্লিমেন্টেশন অফ সিআইও, চিফ ইনফরমেশন অফিসার, অর্থাৎ তখন কিন্তু তার রেসপন্সিবিলিটি হবে যে জিনিসটা আমাদের দিচ্ছে সেই জিনিসটা আমার ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করতে হবে, কাজে আমি বুঝে নেই। So this is the thing. Same thing happened in Raju, same thing happening in Tekranko, same thing happened in Customs House, but still আমি বলি যে এরপরে কিন্তু অনেকগুলো সাকসেসফুল কাস্টম হাউসের একটা প্রজেক্ট, সেই প্রজেক্টটা ছিল পাবলিক প্রাইভেট পার্টনারশিপে বিল্ড ওন অপারেট ট্রান্সফার, এবং সেই প্রজেক্টটা is the only project till now in IT, not only in Bangladesh, in the IT arena, যেখানে ন্যাশনাল এক্সচেঞ্জার থেকে 85% না খরচ করে তারা 26,300 কোটি টাকার আর্নিং এর রেভিনিউ আর্নিং এর সিস্টেম চালাচ্ছে। How it happened? A software company along with Chittagong Chamber of Commerce, they offered the ticket. আপনি প্রতিটা বিল অফের দিতে 70 টাকা নিচ্ছেন, আমাদের 70 টাকা করে দিয়ে উইল ইনভেস্ট and will give you a software as a service managed service, এবং তারা তখন দেখুন যে হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে and that company actually calculated that it will be in break-even in 3 years, 3.5. Believe me that when they get in break-even in 1 year, and they have made their money out of it. এবং এই মডেলটা অস্ট্রেলিয়ান ন্যাশনাল ইউনিভার্সিটি বিজনেস ডেভেলপমেন্ট কোর্সে পড়ানো। Why we are not taking this example for our Chittagong কোর্টে আমি বলতে পারি, Chittagong কোর্টে যখন বললো তুমি অবমিশন করবে তো ট্রাফিক ডিপার্টমেন্ট, অ্যাকাউন্টস ডিপার্টমেন্ট, এটা মিলে সব মিলে 586 জনকে ট্রেনিং দিতে হবে। And maybe some of you know that Chittagong কোর্টে কিন্তু বন্ধ ছিল, অনেকগুলো গভর্নমেন্ট প্রতিষ্ঠানে আমাদের ছিল, কারণ সবাই কিন্তু বেশ বয়স্ক, একদিন আমাকে চেয়ারম্যান বললো যে দেখেন আসলে এখানে কেউ কম্পিউটার চ্যানেল বলে যে এই এখন বলতে একটি যুবক কোথায় বেরিয়ে হয়ে যাচ্ছে what is project manager? আমি বলতে চাই যে আসলে maybe it is a policy. কিন্তু এটার মধ্যে আমি project manager। যারা project manager করে তারা বলবে যে ওকে স্যার আপনি কিন্তু as chairman of the যেটা আপনি ট্রেনিং করে যারা যারা ইসলাম তাদের একদিন জন্য রাখেন এবং ট্রেনিং হবে তাদেরকে একটু বলবো যে আমাদের কন্ট্যাক্ট ছিল আমরা পাবো না সেটা আপনাদের কাছে ঠিক আছে যেহেতু হবে না আমাদের সামনে আমরা কন্ট্যাক্ট করবো ট্রাফিক কাছে যদি আমরা বলছি কাজ করে মানে তোমার বাবা মাও তো বলছে যে না বাবা মা করে না কারণ তাদের পয়সাও তোমাদের তুমি সার্ভিস করো না বলে হ্যাঁ বন্ধু বান্ধবের জন্য সবার সাথে সার্ভিস কথা বলি এসে আইলো তখন আসেনি কথা বলি কথা বলি কিন্তু কথাটা কম ঠিক আছে আমি বলছি আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে এত দাঁড়িয়ে এত সময় কিন্তু আমি বলছি বাকি রাত হয়ে যাবে কিন্তু এখানে সকালে কথা তুমি একটু কথা বলবো আর তুমি যখন কথা বলবো তখন তোমার হোস্টেলে রুমটা দেখাবা এবং তোমার কোথায় খাওয়া দাওয়া থাকে তারপর কি মনে আছে কিচেন আছে কিনা এগুলো তোমার সাথে কতদিন যেমন দেখা না আমি বলতে দেবো যাওয়ার পরে আসে মাঝে মাঝে ছবি বলতে মাঝে মাঝে ছবি না তো তারপরে আমরা বললাম যে একটা ছোট্ট বিক্রি আছে তারপরে ছেলে তো তারপরে আসলো আসার পরে কথা বলবো আমরা লাগাচ্ছি প্রথম মা দেখি বলছে বাবা তো কেন আমি শুনে গেছি আর খাওয়া দাওয়া করতে খাওয়া দাওয়া দেখা যাবে যে না ফ্রিজ ভর্তি আছে কিচেন আছে রান্না করে ইত্যাদি তারপরে কান্না কাটি এবং এমন কান্না শুরু করলো যে আশেপাশে যাচ্ছেও তারাও কান্না করবে প্রতিদিন কথা বলার পরে আমি বললাম যে এই জমিতে কিন্তু এই যে আপনি কথা বললেন এই আমরা বাসায় যদি কম্পিউটার আছে আপনি প্রত্যেকদিন ছেলের সাথে কথা বলছেন তাহলে আমি হ্যাঁ আমি ঠিক আছে যাই হোক কথা বলা তাহলে আমাদের যারা যারা বিদেশে আছে কম্পিউটার শিখলে তাই বিসিবি আমরা সব জানি 1 2 3 জানি আর যেটা শুধু টিম দিব কোনটা সেটা তো ঠিক আছে আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে আপনি ছেলেদের আছেন ডিজিটাল 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 বলছে দেখা যায় ডিজিটাল কোথায় ভালো ভালো এক্সপার্ট হবে ওগুলো কাজ করে দেখলো যে তার কিছুদিন আগে আমেরিকান অর্গানাইজেশন একটা বক্তব্য দিচ্ছে সেটা ডেভিড ছবি হওয়ার উনি যে এক্সেপ্ট বাংলা ভিডিও সবাই আমাকে দেখতেছে সবাই দেখতেছে জানলে আপনি ঠিক আছে আমি একটা বড় আমাদের ব্যক্তি তাকে হচ্ছে চিনতে সবাই আঠারো যোগী অর্থাৎ ভিডিওতে চালাবেন তারও ভাইয়ের নাকি একটা দেখা ছিল তখন বললাম দেখেন এই যে সবাই কিন্তু সবাইকে দেখা যায় তখন বললাম আমরা দেখাই শেষ করবো সেটা হচ্ছে যে তখন বেশ আমি আমরা কিছু ছবি তখন আবার দেখানো হলো আপনার বললাম শুধু এটা না আপনি এখন যদি ঠিক এই মুহূর্তে জানতে চান নালন্দা বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় পৃথিবীর প্রথম ভারতবর্ষের প্রথম বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় সেই ভারতবর্ষের প্রথম বিশ্ববিদ্যালয়ে ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর ছিলেন সেই বর্তমান বাংলা এইগুলো যদি জানতে চাচ্ছিল অর্থাৎ এমএসসি ওয়ান তারপর আমি বললাম যে এটা হচ্ছে অনেকটা শিকারতে সরাসরি শিকারতে সাধারণ না জানলে যেমন শুনলাম আজকের দিনে competition are আসলে আমি এটা বিবেচনা করব তাহলে আমাদের এই কোম্পানিকে 76 জন ট্রেনিং দিতে হতো তারা এখন 100% মধ্যে কন্টেনারটার নাম্বারটা দেখে বলে দেয় যে আপনার and they are about to run for 3-4 days. আমি আমার চিন্তা হচ্ছে যে ওখানে শুরু হয় যদি আমি প্রথমে জাভা কলেক্টর টেকনিক্যাল কি করতে চাচ্ছি আমি সব বেনিফিট তাহলে এই প্রজেক্টটা অনেক ভিশনারি হবে অর্থাৎ 2 বছর পরে প্রজেক্টটা দিব আমি সেই প্রজেক্টটা দিয়ে আমি কি করতে পারি কি হাই কনফিডেন্স আমি জানি আমাদের কোম্পানি কনফিডেন্সে কাজ করে তারা এখন বলতেছে যে এই শেয়ার করতেছে যেরকম এত আপনার স্মার্টফোনটা আছে স্মার্টলি ব্যবহার করেন আপনি এটা বসে দেখবেন যে আপনার 26টা ব্রাঞ্চে কোনটা ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল হেলথ কিরকম একটা ব্রাঞ্চের মধ্যে টাকা পড়ে আছে আর একটা ব্রাঞ্চে টাকা নেই এগুলো তো অন্যরা দেখতে হবে এখন মোবাইল ফোনে দেখতে হবে না আপনি বলে দিতে পারবেন যে যাও এমনকি আপনার মোটরসাইকেল নিয়ে তার যাওয়ার কথা যেকোন গাছা সে গিয়ে যেকোন গাছার সময় লাগে গল্প করে চলে আসলো আপনার বলতে বলতে হবে যে অফিস যাও না কাজে সেজন্য প্রজেক্ট ম্যানেজমেন্টে একটা হচ্ছে যে আমার ভিশনটা দেখতে হবে বেনিফিট বিশেষ করে সরকারি প্রতিষ্ঠানে যেমন গভর্নমেন্ট সংস্থা আছে আরেকটা হচ্ছে যে প্রজেক্ট ওরা জানে না যে কি যাচ্ছে কাজে আমাদের কিন্তু বলে দিতে হবে যে আপনি আসলে এইটা করে এই বেনিফিটটা এবং সেই বেনিফিটগুলো যদি আমি কিছুটা কেউ অংশ দেখাতে পারি তখন কেউ স্টার্ট গেইনিং মোমেন্টাম যে শেষ করার ক্ষেত্রে প্রজেক্ট কিন্তু কখনো ফ্রিজ হয় না রিকোয়ারমেন্ট ফ্রিজ হয় আমাদের দেশের রিকোয়ারমেন্ট করতেই থাকে সেটার পরে এটা সেজন্য আমাদের ভাগ করতে হবে যে আপনার এই রিকোয়ারমেন্টটা এই পর্যন্ত আরেকটা রিকোয়ারমেন্ট করতে হবে আরেকভাবে হচ্ছে যে প্রাইভেট বিষয়ে আমার মনে হয় অনেকে এখানে আছেন তারা কিছু মনে করলে পাওয়া যায় তারা মনে করে যে ঠিক আছে আমি যদি কোনোরকম ভাবে আমার গার্মেন্টস এর সলিউশন বের করে তাহলে আমি আরো 27টা গার্মেন্টস বিক্রি করবো এরও ভাই পাস করে আসলো ওকে দিয়ে একটা তৈরি করি তারপর তাকে দিয়ে তৈরি করাবো তাহলে দেখবো যে সে অনেক কিছুই প্রসেস মেনটেন করবে কাজেই তখন প্রসেস মেনটেন না করার কারণে পরে যখন তার কোনো প্রবলেম হলো সে সলভ করতে পারছে দ্বিতীয় হচ্ছে তার একটা হায়ার স্ট্যান্ডার্ড স্কুলে হলে কি করে যে বলতে যে আমার আর করে না আপনাদের আইটি একদম কি আপনার দেখেন 9 জন উদয় দিয়ে গেছে এখন আর আমাদের কথা হচ্ছে যে আমরা বেসিস থেকে যেতে চাই যে উনি মাস ফলো প্রসেস যে কারণে সিএনএমআই আপনারা জানেন ক্যাপাবিলিটি ভ্যালুয়েশন মডেল আমাদের দেশে এখন 6টা কোম্পানি আছে যারা সিএনএমআই লেভেল 3 আমরা এই বছরে আরো 10টা কোম্পানিকে সিএনএমআই লেভেল 3 এর প্ল্যান করেছি আর দুইটা কোম্পানি সিএনএমআই লেভেল 5 এর প্রসেস আছে আমরা পিএলপি আমি জাস্ট জানতে চাই এটা কি প্রজেক্ট ম্যানেজমেন্ট প্রফেশনাল স্কুল আছে অনেকে আছে আমি মনে করি যে পিএনআই আমাদের ইনস্টিটিউট ঢাকা চ্যাপ্টার আছে এবং সেজন্য প্রজেক্ট ম্যানেজমেন্টে এই প্রধান মানে প্রতিগত যে দিকগুলো সেগুলো থেকে জানা হবে এবং সেখানে কিন্তু এই টিপসগুলো পাওয়া আর থার্ড আউটসোর্সিং প্রজেক্টের চ্যালেঞ্জেস হচ্ছে আসলে অনেক সময় আমাদের কালচারাল ডিফারেন্স হয় অর্থাৎ তারা যেভাবে চাচ্ছে সেইটা আমরা ঠিকভাবে বুঝতে পারি না কিন্তু যারা এটা উঠতে গেছেন তারা কিন্তু ভুল কাজে এই যে চ্যালেঞ্জেস এই চ্যালেঞ্জেসটা শুধু বাংলাদেশে নয় গ্লোবালি সর্বত্র চ্যালেঞ্জ আছে এবং I do agree with that despite that, actually how effectively we are dealing the client and meeting the requirement and fulfilling the requirement in a proper way, not in only techy way of all the technical jungles,
that is the key of success. So actually, at last, I'm really delighted that there are a lot many young people are here who will be project managers in the future. Actually, if they use this, I'll not say tricks, but these are actually tips which we can use to the clients, and that will make our data successful. Actually, I find that it shows that our younger generation are coming in a very. My last word is, I'm really fortunate that I'm really optimistic about motivation. Initial population 65% 40% এটি আছে সেই যে কখনো থেমে থাকতে পারে না কিন্তু এটা আমরা যখন আয় না পাই এটা হবে এবং হচ্ছে প্রতি মুহূর্তে আমরা দেখছি এই এবং তথ্য প্রযুক্তি হবে আমাদের পাথেও বিশ্বাস এবং আমি সবাই বলি 5 থেকে 7 বছরের মধ্যে আইটি উইল বি লাইফলাইন অফ আওয়ার ওয়ার্ক। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Inspired. I mean, like, Mr. Doctor, Mr. Malcolm,
আমাদের আসার একটা রেকর্ডিং এটা কাদেরকে এটা তো কমপ্লিট না হলো না এটা
Dear audience, we have a question from the panelists and
Very valid question. We have dedicated a team and department. We are looking for them. Unfortunately, we can't find them. অনেক হলো খুব সবাইকে অনেক অনেক ধন্যবাদ এত সুন্দর আলোচনার পরে আমার কিছু আলোচনা থেকে বলার নেই কিন্তু কয়েকটি তথ্য শেয়ার করাই দরকার হল এবং কিছু থ্যাংক হিসেবে বলে সেটাও দেওয়া দরকার আছে তাহলে কিন্তু প্লেজার আগেই টু অফিসিয়ালি থ্যাংক প্রার্থী all the way traveling from Chennai to Dhaka actually also participates to the thank you program to participate and I will try to speaker from Indonesia or from Singapore give us to join here with a short session. I will take the pleasure to thank the parents and the administration because we know that they are having the opportunity to
structure would not have the opportunity to meet you people because you were the young future leaders who would have opportunity also in Bangladesh to participate in elections on PLC, on CAPM, and few others as well. And I would like to share that in Bangladesh, all the people are using RBP, the Insta Education Provider or project management. So in Bangladesh, as Mohammed you mentioned here that we have few quality, we have a lot of success story as well. I have used skills as well, but these are the time to share, maybe to share later. I would like to specifically to Mr. Taqi Bhai, and also because I'm clinical, because as a session, I should make our very chairman and the favorite person, another people Bhai, and also Mohammed Bhai, in the region. Actually, we have to learn a lot from people. He has a lot of experience. We're feeling very bad to say him to make it videos, but he has a big thunder in Bangla. He has to run later on. So you people, young people, we will contact him. He's so passionate and flexible. He can spend time personally, but with the person as well. Yeah. And then I would like to thank also our honorable professor, Dr. Anil Mundra. He is a really person who has বাংলাদেশের বলে বিভিন্ন জ্ঞানের দ্বারা ভূমিকা রয়েছে কিন্তু অনেক জ্ঞান তার কাছে আছে আমাদের অনেক কিছু শেখার আছে এবং PMI বাংলাদেশ চ্যাপ্টার as an industry academia would have an opportunity to work together in the field of device reduce or eliminate in the future. And I also like to thank my board here, Mr. Arif, he is working in the board as a director, and also he is working for a teacher earlier phone. And I would like to also introduce Mr. Shahir. I think there are a lot of students in Bangladesh, more than hundreds of people on the PhD 25, and there are other positions as well. Other he is also board member. I would like to share Mr. Bachar, who actually was the catalyst of arranging the dinner. And then thank you all, thank you the audience especially. I would like to also invite anyone who is interested to become my chapter member or who is interested in conduct professional course professionally, or even we would like to share our knowledge. Our board to be ready, our volunteer to be ready. There are few committee chairs. I saw a few committee chairs here. One of them was Mamun Bhai. I think Jeda Bhai was here, and few other Moin Bhai, Shamima was there. She said it is to me. And so on the way, she's there. So all the industries. So we have to make it hurry because there was a session. I would like to thank again the audience especially and the bakeries and the articulation. Thank you very much.
বন্ধ